Keblaya pi baro kibapet yakani kubor upet ngor cable news. Kimat bakong san menta katayo kilong. Menjur ke sorkar ya kesilong urban mobility policy arajar arpusau banweng ya kejengkapnya hakanong ba bat ploy ke sorkar jela banyak keranya suk bat ke HNLC. Yo pediang katanat social welfare hindu ligi keteng nak benta kam chairperson HMSCW. Sam Chiti Tungkam umiturang ba sekilai sepak sapondre umut ginong hikai lower primary. Kapnya ke sekretariat badap daki kalijan bat tut kipat ba ban let kiu ngiu haulum saplet bening. Kaken Hun Menteri Kebelaya Kenduk Hakasing Toding kala aji menjur ya kesilong urban mobility policy arajar arposau ban weng ya kejengkapnya ban pen keluat ya kilintiya bat ban tawi kijakai yang kali hakanong ba. Kesorkar jela kala pen paru ya kejengkloi banyak keranya suk bat kaken Hun King Atir hinyau terap National Liberation Council HNLC.
Habaya keren bikinong pathai kubor hadian balawai ke jingelang jangka kenhun menteri. Menteri rang ba ke jelau Konrad Kongkal Sangma uloong ba ke kenhun menteri kala ajing menjor ke Meghalaya Engineering Public Works Department Service Rules arhajar apusau. Uloong namar ba kilabuan palat kijing penkala kumtai ki kendon jangka Meghalaya Engineering Public Works Department Service Rules kat kendai sepak kendai pusan ke sorkar kelarai bantau pinok ki rule ki batamai bala penduk no ki rule ki barim. Uliatoro bagakenhun menteri kala ajing menjur ke bil ke bedai bad ke Meghalaya Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act arhajar hendrio. Badakan ke bil ansara ke yang dorbar tauan ke bansawan ke bentaban yo ya kejing menjur. Konrad Kongkal Sangma uliato bagakenhun menteri kala menjur ke Shillong Urban Mobility Policy arhajar arpusau dan kebayat rengkat bagi sorkar India ban pentikena bakan don kejing kelut kanong ba. Bat kania ka polisi kan kentup igur komiat ki kali kamai bantau ya ki jakayat kejat bantai ki jakay yang kali bet kibai. Kajing manra ke sorkar kajing penkelai ke Meghalaya Building Bylaws arhajar arpuai bari ke Shillong Urban Mobility Policy ke dairu ban pentikena bani opdiang ya kajing bai tengka na ke sorkar pedeng. Menteri rang ba uloong ba ke sorkar kala menjur ki katto kani kejing penkala ya ke Meghalaya Building Bylaws arhajar arpuai. Da ke bobot ki kendon jo ke sorkar pedeng ban penti kena ya kejing singan jo kejing tai. Bat ban penti kenaru bagi beliau ke badan ki jaka ki barit keniok ban penon kam kambon ya ke jaka jongki bat menta on penjensur no iki kendon. Konrad Kongkal Sangma uloong bagi sorkar kan ajing bit syuk ban senayeng hagi jaka ki belong riat bat penok haduk sanpau degree da ke bobo akmat ya kejing singan jeng ipat ba. Nalor kani uloong ba mencua la ajing bit ikijing tai ban senah kejing jrong ke basau po mitar nri menta ki no kejing tai ki bapalat ek arpunyo mitar ken hab ban lecem jeng bit na ke sorkar jela. Kabayadai bagajeng penpau ka kenhuan HNLC kerensan social media baka pediang banekran bat ke sorkar. Nakaliang Konrad Kongkal Sangma uloong hadu menta umpat yo ya kanu kejing thot na keseng HNLC. Nrai uloong pat baka sorkar ka kloy ban beteng ya kejing ekran esok bat ke kenhuan HNLC. Nakababot iki kendon balabo da ketunat Home Affairs ke sorkar India. Uloong bagi sorkar ka kloy banekran namar baka kuwa kejing sok ka bannek syirta. Bat ula kentu kinong yalam ke HNLC bikin wan cekmat banekran biang. Bayadai bagi jing dawa ke HNLC benuweng no iki mokot noma persya kinong yalam bat ki dekot ke HNLC. Konrad Kongkal Sangma uloong bagi jing weng no iki mokot noma persya kinong yalam ne dekot ke HNLC kan syongkat kum ke jinglong jangka wei pekawai ka mokot duma.
Earlier say suppose there was a certain size, plot size that you had. The laws required you to leave about 3 meters from the front, about I think 2 meters from the side, and I think rear also about 2 meters. So depending on now the different land sizes, and obviously on lands which are not on 40 degrees slope, so which is more on the plain land, plainish, not too steep. So based on that, the gap that you leave from the boundary wall to the building, that gap has been reduced. Say for example, for 500 square feet or square meters of land, and below that, it has been reduced like from the front to 2 meters, from the rear to 1 meter, which means 3 feet. Earlier it used to be 6 feet. Now it will be 3 feet from the back, and from the side also it used to be 6 feet. Now it will be reduced to 3 feet. So on and so forth. So without trying to misquote or without giving you wrong details, if necessary, we will send you the information a bit later. Yes, I'll put it there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Because as I said, these are very technical things I don't have, but I got the table now. It was long. So plot of 300 square feet to 500 square feet. The front will be 2.1 meters, rear will be 1 meter, and sides will be 1 meter. 500 to 750 square feet, again 2.1 front, 1 meter rear, and 1 meter on the side. 751 to 1000, 2.5 meters in the front, 1.5 meters at the rear, and 1 meter in the sides. And these numbers were different earlier because, say for example, up to 1000 square feet, it used to be 2.5 meters in the front, and rear was 1.5 and size was 1 meter. So certain changes have been made. As I said, I will put it on my social media. I think that will be much more fairer. But the point is that we have tried to allow people to, the basic point being, I think this is the important part which I would like you to share. Most important is, number one, wherever possible, we have tried to give more space to people to construct their buildings so that the land and the gap between the boundary wall and this thing is minimized. That's number one. Number two, we have reduced the permissions to MUDA to give buildings above 27 meters permission. If the buildings above 27 meters are there, they have to come to government to take approval. So that has been approved. So earlier it was up to 40 meters. Now it has been reduced up to 27 meters. So MUDA can only give,
this is the
height of buildings above 27 meters will have to come to government. It's not that we are not allowing, but it will be special permission. So MUDA will be only allowed up to 27 meters. Third most important thing which we have said is that any land which is at 50 degrees of slope, no building permission will be given for lands that has 50 degrees in slope and or above. The building permission, buildings cannot be constructed. This is keeping in mind the safety of the building and all this aspect. 50 meters is quite steep slope, as you can imagine. So that is one thing. And for buildings that are 40 degrees and above, there are certain restrictions that will be put in terms of the height and the space that you can occupy, and so on and so forth. So we are working on creating a much more planned and more safer building constructions, keeping in mind different situations that are being faced in different parts of the country and the world, and trying to see if these laws can come in so that it can make the buildings safer in the long run. But I reiterate that we are open, and we would ask them to reconsider their stand. We also want long-term peace, and so that we would reiterate that they should come to the talks again. But as I said, regarding their talks or that invitation or whatever you've called, I have not seen anything in writing, so it would not be appropriate for me to comment on that.
But the stand of the government, conditional or unconditional talks?
We have maintained again and again that there are certain provisions and guidelines which the MHA has prescribed, which is being followed for all organizations with which Government of India is in talks with. So it will be followed on basis of those guidelines. We cannot deviate from that, because that is what is being prescribed for all the talks. And hence, if they start changing that for one or two organizations, then they will change it for all. So within the prescribed norms of MHA, we are ready to talk on whatever line.
In the past, has government ever done away with cases or dropped the cases with any kind of...
So as I said, case-to-case basis, the decisions have been made. There has been done in the past also. But as I said, whether it will be done in the future or not, it will depend on case-to-case basis. But if we don't start the process, then we'll never reach to that point.
So lastly, Assam government in the assembly, we've seen that Boran, he stated that Meghalaya has encroached 3,444 hectares of Assam land, and is ensuring that going further, Assam will never give an inch of land to Meghalaya.
No, there will always be sentiments. There will always be individuals who will talk, and it's fine. I mean, if their emotions are there, whether they're right or wrong, that's not what I'm commenting on. But it's the person's individual perspective. When it comes to the talks, it is between two governments, and therefore the two governments will ultimately decide. Individual level, people can make comments. I have no comments to
So
make
is
about
it
that.
true Meghalaya has encroached such?
I don't know which one is talking about. So therefore, as I said, the talks are between the two governments. Individuals can make comments. I have no comments on that.
Well, sir, today Secretary
Umenteri ubah kami yakatanat social welfare ubah polling do hakalat sing ublay jong katayo ula pentim bakatanat social welfare kalayok pedang hendriu terli ki kerteng batkan sashim yi ke senjam na kebenta bantung ya ke chairperson jong ke Meghalaya State Commission for Women MSCW.
Habayekran beginong pathai kubor, Menteri Ketenat Social Welfare ke Jela ob apoleng do uloong banalor kisau tadi ki kerteng ke belajing mod da ke search committee. Ketenat Social Welfare kelai opriang saat lagi kerteng ki bakwa ban syathung kum ki chairperson jong ke Meghalaya State Commission for Women. Bat menta kata yo unsashim yakara yano bentung kum ka chairperson. Uloong bagi sorkar kakwa ekajeng terekam ke basyai bat wat habaga search committee ke lapha ki kerteng henry lepen mi ekajeng penmena bat ailat ki bakwa ban tap kerteng ban shimti kum ki chairperson jong ka commission. Hagabede bagajing yaki keseng Voice of the People's Party VPP halor kejing wangkam yaki officer ka Meghalaya Lokayukta. Uba poleng do uloong ba kum unong aiktian jong sorkar jela uloong ba ban penlong politik sekan kakam daga bayalam baklai pat ba kalong gabam sengaw yahap satya ba gadi gejing persang ban penphalang syawai pat gejing mud jong pat ba nakimat ki badai hok ki bakta ek jela uba poleng do uloong ba ka Meghalaya Lokayukta Act kalakran syai ba amla ban aika mi ki officer bala chong that ba gejing terikam jong bala chong that ka kamduna habinu jor ba kitok berang don ha ka yeng syari kum ta sorkar kamla ban yat lat na ka act bat ka Lokayukta kam hap setiap o gejing penyat jong sorkar jela bat kam dei satya ka tenat sorkar Hagabedai bagajing penelong kajing iki daga VPP hasurok uba poleng do uloong baga jaka kran belai ki MLA hakaliang persya ban kran ikimat ke bokongsan ke yang dorbar thawan ke jela haga jaka banelam kinong tap vote surok malagapor uloong bagi padba ke khmidenti beginong mi khmat kin kran ikimat apok yang dorbar nrei la dayalam no ikinong tap vote surok malagapor kajing penelong ki election kala sya job no Uba poleng do ublong ru UMDC jong ka Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council uloong bakam dan setia kanu kanu ke jenglek baphala halor karai jong sorkar ban menjur ban penjalan hendro benai ya ka samoi terekam jong ka Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council bat Jantia Hills Autonomous District Council. Badi gisnem gi belalet le penjalan hadu arsnem ka samoi terekam jong ka Garu Hills Autonomous District Council daga sorkar jela kabelailam do Dr. Mugul M Sangma kum Menteri Rangbat. Hagabayadai bagi election MP syaka Lok Sabha na Shillong constituency uba apolong do ubalong working president ka UDP. Ulapan pau ka jingkermen scam baka kenhuan Regional Democratic Alliance RDA jong kaseng UDP bat HS PDP. Bahkan job ikini ki election. Kamtam habaga di kenhuan ka baytrailang hapadeng ki artli ki seng reuluam ki bahe ha kejela. Uli itu bela penlong ya kejingelang haki constituency beper bad uba Robert Jun Karjaren kum kertong ulale cekeleng kejaka bad kimat beper ladat man penmenapat ba dau kertong nadu kapor ba la penmenayu kum kertong menekun yaki election MP Syakalok Sabha Naga Shillong Parliamentary Constituency.
Today I took a review of various issues pertaining to the social welfare department. So I have been informed that apart from the 4 names that were suggested and recommended by the search committee, 2 additional applications have also been received, and we will be taking a final decision within this week. Since the last date for submission of such applications is already over. No, we wanted complete transparency, and in order to give everybody a fair chance, we said that we would go beyond the names recommended by the search committee, and which is why we went for an advertisement asking for applications from interested candidates. So in that process, 2 more applications have reached us. Bakat kum ka act nimla ban engage ya ka service jongpi priyo ke bala shongkha. Di kata kalong fundamental ya ka jingdan jong ka Lokayukta namar ka bor ka influence jong ki priyo ke bala retire kala duna shibun banyak ki priyo ke bala ki officers ki badang ban ka service. Di kadai baik tang kalau jong tak kenal ni but inum la ban deviate naga at kamtam gini rega at kebalawan hadian shibun kejing ki keleng juga ri di ban penlong kam politics ya gani da ke ba ya lambak lah ya ke public opinion kalau ke ba nasgohi kamlong ethical kamlong ke badan buram pat kalong ru kajing bersang ban deflect ya ke public attention lagi issues kita don kam sisa di menteri kong ampari lingdo ada dapat kedua ke VPP pat hadin kedua kilapan ru sa kajing kedua baru chief minister ya ke ba uru ula dap menjur di ngangek berkata bat kumjuk kajing don jong ka assembly session kan la pa kadi kelenti kalat yaki bakilan rakyat ni ke jengkran bat minum la ban kran ni ke ba palat ya ke baka at ka stipulate ki ngami I bakan dan ke prepare lada ulat ukren da ka kti ni hendi bat ha juk kopor pat ya ka jengkran ke jong kalong available la supply ya ka speech ke jong ya ka text jong ka speech jong ha ka in English di kani kamde ke prepare la pipet ya ka parliament barok ki kti ni barung ha ka schedule la ban kren bat pila ban yo sngo ya ka jing kren da ka kti ka ba pipi sngo tho unong kren da ka kti ka ba unang ba unong snap udu ban snap ka kti bo so tho ba ti ngaling penselur ba kamde tang bende da English saki atli ki associate official language ru andra ikane kamat bagi associate official languages jong state ru de ban translate lang haki tu kitien ru ti ka perthai ka pemerintah ka ba jong artificial intelligence le tu pikiran daga nu ka kitien ru interpretation kalong hang tu hi daga kitien ka ba pipi ko apan yo sngau te kamdan kami ibaran dan kendek isu. Nara kalau kon ba Ukraine be dak satang bu Ukraine be dak Hindi but ngiru translation ngisu ya shong sia petkayu tau lat de dak oi ber kam ke. The whole purpose of us having an elected house is to facilitate legislators to debate and take part in discussions. Now the electorate has given us a mandate in each of the constituencies whereby a constituency of say 30 to 50,000 voters would vote for a particular candidate expecting him to represent their interest in the house of the people. But if I were to take my electors with me to the streets repeatedly, then the whole point of having elections is defeated. Second is members of the opposition are also important members of various committees constituted by the State Assembly. Even the Public Accounts Committee, which is regarded as a mini assembly, and an assembly which sits whenever the House does not sit, is headed by and chaired by a member of the opposition. Therefore, there is adequate room for the opposition to address all their issues within the four walls of the State Assembly and within the confines of the various committees constituted by the House.
Kementeri Kekoit Kekia, Kekong Amperin Lengdo, Kebadai Ru KMLA jong ke East Shillong Constituency, kalayang scam hakanong rim, bakijing temu ban penkendria yakinong di Madan, Sha Veronica Lane, La Umkra, kalong ban weng yakijing kebalamat, dekipat ba nong late nong wan, hakatan La Umkra.
Baikren bagi nong patai kubor, I Dr. Amperin Lengdo, iloong bakalong kebadan kam bandon dagan no vendor zone. Ban Amsha Ashu, ban Shong de Madan, namar kejing don ginong de Madan, haman kisurok bat kilinti sengkian kalabo jing kinong ya nong yang, kam tam akaporlong school. I Dr. Amperin Lingdo iloong bahap ban pentrikam dagan no vendor zone, bat kanekam day kaboong maishimet, nregadan ka act kabla kranchai halor kani ka benta ilong ru bem tiang bad in kenran dian setia ban wenge jing e kinong lit nong wan bad ile kentu ya baro ban trailang ban pen bet kini ke jing e
a group of citizens who are also in some way or the other affected to the proposed relocation plan at Veronica Lane. I have just this much to say. It will be next to impossible for all groups to be on a common thought. My appeal to all concerned is that we have to address this problem. And hawkers have a right. There is a hawkers committee in place. There's a vendors committee in place. These are all authorized committees. I am just a mere MLA who doesn't belong to any committee, but who feels very responsible and wants to sort this problem out. I spoke to the residents who came. I hope that we will be able to, across the table, discuss this matter with the right authorities. I am an MLA who's merely looking for a way out of this very difficult situation for citizens of the state, particularly anyone who comes to Lajupra. It has become very inconvenient for us, next to impossible, and if school starts, it becomes more difficult. And the numbers of hawkers are increasing under whose watch? We have to operationalize the no vendor zone. And it is not Ampreen that is saying it. It is an act which is saying it. There is no need for anyone to instigate anyone on the street to speak ill about Ampreen. Doesn't matter what you say. You can say whatever you want. But order is what I'm looking for. And if I can do it as the MLA of this constituency, who is facing the brunt of this, I will not fear. And I will not deviate from my point. We need to sort this problem out.
ha kabay baki election MP sa Lok Sabha i Dr. Ampreen Lingdo ibday ikertong na kaseng NPP ilong ba kaseng ganang penkrea ek election manifesto ban pa ni kejeng kersan ba kejeng chania no pat ba ilong ru bi lalit yo kejat akaleng kijaka ke bahap apo ka Shillong parliamentary constituency hagnik shi banai tam banyalap election bat onda ila job ru in beteng bet bantrai haman na kishnong kithaw bat bandon bentaru aga kam sarkar bat kum ke MP in ai but ke sarkar jela ka panajing chakri yaki pat ba ha ka jela.
So the first thing is that our party is in a process of actually laying down a manifesto, which is a document that we will promise before the people of the state of Meghalaya. I'm awaiting for that document to be further guided on what is the kind of agenda that I will lay personally as a candidate. Having launched my campaign and awaiting for this important manifesto to be spelt out and presented before the people of the state of Meghalaya before the MP elections, I also have some personal things which I am anyways trying to communicate accordingly to groups of individuals that I have met in the last little over 1 month. The first thing that I will obviously place right before my purview is I will work hard. I will travel the length and breadth of the constituency to understand the dynamics of issues and agendas that are being discussed on the ground. On the developmental front, what are the things that are urgently required in all the 36 constituencies? Because I will have to have a schedule of work. What will I do if I am voted to office of MP? I'm understanding all of that. That also I am making notes everywhere I'm going. The third thing personally is to ensure that I will be able to unify voters of one Shillong parliamentary seat. The percentage of votes that I may poll, the vote share that our party will receive are important indicators of unity whether or not we've been able to communicate efficiently to the people of the state of Meghalaya in our part of One Shillong parliamentary seat. And definitely, in most areas that I have gone this far, I have visited about 10 blocks. I have covered about almost 67 villages. I've touched ground, passed by. I have covered almost 1,000 odd kilometers in the last 33, 34 days that I have campaigned. And there is this feeling that an MP is a distant person from the democratic process. So I want to dispel this myth and show the people at the very beginning that I will travel, I will stay nights in your villages, I will understand the dynamics of your needs and requirements. And these are all personal agendas which have nothing to do with the broad political campaign of my party. Once the party has come out with the manifesto, definitely we will have clarity on this matter. I cannot operate outside of party high command.
Kasorkar jala hakala snuble jong katayo kala sam ya kashiti thongkam ne appointment letter shakilas pa saphon re ngut kisamla kibla yo ekakam nong hikai haki lower primary school hakachalang kabalalong ha state convention center Shillong.
Ya kini kisithi thungkam lasam do menteri rangba kejela ukonrat kongkal sangma rengkat bat menteri ketengat pulih putih urakam sangma. Hakabeledon lang ke officer kejela bat hakane kejingelang. Laplat pat baru ya ki teaching learning materials kit belatip kom ki jadui pitara na kebenta banash ki hybrid ke bidang net school nengkong. Bat kumbal like pesan hajar ngut ki kena kenyo ikini ki tiar yarap pulih. Abakaran kejingelang ukonrat kongkal sangma uloong ba kajing penlong yang ke program kam day bakan kot tang ha kajing sam ya ki sithi thungkam chukin hoi kai school ki bidang shiyo akam roi ka day ru kesngi ban permna pat ba ya ka thong bat kajing angnut jong sarkar jela ulong ru ba kajing bai tengka ha ka puli puthi ka day kajing kan show ka he do bat ulu kentu ki hoi kai bidang shiyo ki kam bakin sedang ya kam na kajing mut ka babha bat kum ki hoi kai kem day tang ban asu ai jing hikai na ki dir ban san dore kajing em jong ki kena Urakam sangma ulong bakakam hikai kadeka kam kabadan buram tam. Bar ulama ham ru kino hikai kibalas yo ikajim thongkam. Bakem dai pat ban ai pateng ya kam hikai jongki cheki bai pat amarkan ketajur yaki kena school.
The most difficult times that a child faces in his or her life is a time when the child is above 8 years old and in adolescence, what we call, going into teenage. Especially today's world with social media and the different kind of peer pressure that we have, different kind of distractions that we have, social problems like drugs we have, early pregnancy, teenage pregnancy we have. These all happen from the age of 9 to about 19. And again in the teenage to the adulthood is a time when they are ultimately able to excel based on the foundations that we lay. They're able to excel in what they are going to do and become in their lives in the future. And that's when the opportunities, like for example, we have enough opportunities and infrastructure for education, for sports, for music, and for entrepreneurship, or anything that they would like to do in life. That happens, and then at the later stage, and of course then adulthood comes in. One needs to understand this entire life cycle of a child. And until we don't realize it as a government, just by doing piecemeal tokenism of giving you the appointment letter, inaugurating one building, school, changing the course, of course, all these things do matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. But you need to see the big picture. You need to understand what we are trying to do. And let me tell you, while I explain that to you, Meghalaya is one of the few states that has actually started working on all the life cycle sections that are there.
Ka secretariat kadai ko office trekam ka bakong santam jong ka soka jala ka basyong ki he sorkar. Hendrai ka jing internet ba ka jing kong san jong kadai ko office trekam kala lip rong no namar baladam ka plau satang daki kali sorkar ki belajat lapai bat ka lapen mi ya ka jing khap ngya.
Kani kejeng peniyang ya ki kali sarkar ki badan ya ki number ML not UA ki bala sneo bat ki bala jot ki bala dan bonterli bat ki bala tolo di jaka bat penmi kejeng kamnya bat kala boru kejeng ya ki barung bami ha secretariat Kemdan setia ke jaka ban peniyang kali bat kala don ki kap ha badan kinu kejeng lang ki bakongsan ki kali kila syethenyan bat kala miru kajing deng kali Kani kejeng peniyang ya kini ki kali ke belas seniau kala penbenyau ki babon ki head officer bagi head sarkar ki bawan secretariat. Namar kejeng memiak jaka ban peniyang kali bat kejeng itnat jang secretariat ru kala ilip rongno namar belas lay di kini ki kali jot. Habakran bat menteri sarkar uba kami ya ke secretariat administration uba AL hack. Ula kubur kejeng don kini ki kali ke belas seniau ke belas peniyang dagi benai bat dagi snam. Bat kila bam bon ya ke jaka. Nrai kejeng ka ba katanat SAD kamat kalong ba kamla bandai kini kali kat ba ka condemnation committee jong katanat transport kampat benda begini kali ke belas new kila ki kali jot bat ki balala ban dia tak dorno uba el hek ulong baban penti kena bagan don kejeng keluat ha secretariat kumta anselum kejeng elang banesyong perkhat bat banwat no ada ka weipat ke jaka ban bo ya kini ki kali ke belas new Ulong bagi dan kali ke belas sniop ajat tang namar belas peniyang baklam dapanan kam syu iki bar ulong badan kam ban penstat ka kam ban pet benia iki kali ke badang biang ban la ban maromat bat iki kali ke belas sniop ban deno
tingi ngelayo jetem halon ke bede bakajing pak iki kali ke ba miat syu deki benai menta dan belah palat stem tu 38 kami Asia yang ke sekretariat hibar kuwi bat ki beliau ki wanon kam bat ki official ban pak ai kali ru la syam stop ti nagaliang ke jongi ke office jong SAD ngin hab ya wat ke lat kelenti bakini ki kali ki ba blok shu ke ba dei staman condemn no bat ban le action no inda wan no de gwe be ki jaka ya ke bagila ban pak ya kini ki kali baro ti kata nagaliang jong office ngin hab sim kit kya dan bahkan pensuk ikinong late ng one magjuan non kam po secretariat dan taga non kam jong ka office sa ka poro di non kam jong pai ba kanu getiar de kali ni yeng lu data bila syu yeng ja ang tu katu ka yeng ne tu kali nang jot susu bat ki bre boan ru ki dak kam jot susu nomor bob dan bob pek syu ya kita ga tiar kabar ka matamo tiar la subuh tu la sudon hau slap haga sengi 3 kali kan bagadang slam ke badang supak tu 3 dang jot ke idon kami bangin hable compensate no ka mar ban condemn ni ke vehicle ke don daga condemnation committee jo bala constitute na po ka MTC di ka auction no kale hi na po ka MTC na po ka transport department dari bala bangi na po SAD tingin hapya khot ko ga mendik ban employ ban le ke ban kam kadang bagila ban auction no ru ke kali badi ban auction no bagi kali badang dei ban repair na badang la ban program ru ka office ke ban pet nam ta ke non kam baro
Hashwa bangin kemi iku kubor ke badang sa tengahnya pashi por sakini kejeng penbana
Since the detection of the first case of HIV in India back in 1986, almost 37 years now, we are still not free from the virus.
Let us all unite and reunite and learn the basics of HIV, and we can't keep our eyes and ears closed for long, because if it's happening in the society, it can happen and we remain ignorant, then one day it can happen to us also.
Come, join hands, talk AIDS for no AIDS. Come, be a part of the Northeast Multimedia Campaign on HIV/AIDS on the 28th of February 2024 at Lariti Performing Centre, Mau Kasiang from 11 a.m. onwards.
program is a next step to the Prime program that we had started 5 years back. And the CM Elevate program targets 20,000 entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. We want to push and we want to support 20,000 entrepreneurs.
Comfort here. So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting. You keep on building lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. In the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here.
Habapai biang syaki kubor, uwe uriu rangba kan ba udang minot top haka kambela ke jong u ban lom yikitin jon ulamat eka apot sepsngi haba ula syatap ha unyut ubala lom tup ha marten mauyong haka sunset jan jong katayo baladep bat yakamet jong niu rangba layok bansai hadian laisngi da ke jingwat jong kakanhun SDRF.
Hadian laisngi ke jingwat ke baklam sange. Hagan reu terik urempang arajar arpusau lalap ekamet ke basa jong ba Marshall Marwen ubelaja hadian ke jingtua ulum nyut hamarten. Nadu bejaga ke jingja nakaliang ke municipal rengkat bar ke kenuan jong State Disaster Response Force bar ke breu ke bejutam tinjot lang hamarten kila penlong ke jingwat ba Marshall Marwen. Kini ke jingja kelaja ha kalai terik urempang arajar arpusau ha kepor kumbakat arbejemen sni. Ha keba ubak marwen ulalet banwat tinjot akan kejaka berenyut hendrai kensan na kejingban unyut ubalalum tup akan kejaka ulat tua bat ban yang nubriu. Hadin kini kejingja na kaliang kekenhun pelat em kalalet marmar sekene kejaka bat galap penlong yang kejingwat yau nubriu nado ketu kesini bakalaja. Ubak marwen ubadai na kesenong mokorwat mentau syong usa amauyong rengkat bat kekurem bat arngut ki kunjung u.
Bangawan ng kinapista berwaang ani ngalasuk hera mas mat handi kabe ngalasuk kermen bete bangangyo tandal adin tu malap tu la kano kenta lai kenta adin tu ngalit no ngalit no siang mah ta kermen bit banyo ngalit no siang nangalamut lek siang ngakiu tu apru katan bit sedien ngalaya nang niru katan bit sedien ta kom syari ngaban lek katan bit adin ngaya lek banyak dang ngalaya kam sipang kaman kifun yang belayo ni ngasuk men mah tengah sungguh tangi pistol berwakan nama kat ni ngalak sengleran te bang ini order iki kat ni gila tristom menetang nangi leong bang imla resya menetang nangi selong begila tristom kini municipal kinong trehan dia kinong belahan dia tengila kan mansai hadu kat dia kamet joki mah menetang nangi tengila sono kahun sana kini nek klang tang menyu tang kading ru ningun
yang jongi ki rebar jangka municipal te ngimla khen jude ta kat no marga jing mut berkat jungi te kambat su nomar ngi siebe tang man ngio no yung du perlop jungi te nadu man singi sajan tu ka hap kan ka nyut tu ka art stengi ai te hadu man ta pate so komen bau la ai ngi ta tak kesien mo ai ngi ta tak kesien ngi ta ngi ta so komen nggak sohon ke mesin nggak tristom sikatu
Kinong tre jangka 108 hapok kalama jangka Meghalaya EMRI Workers Union MEMRIWU hakasi balang jangka tayo kilale yakandu yaka menteri kokot kakya kokong Ampurin Lingdo halor kijing kabakimat bat nakaliang ka menteri kelapan bena ban kentiu no hnreo nakashispa yakatulop jong kinong tre jangka 108
Ki dekat jang ka Meghalaya EMRI Workers Union hapok kejinglam Presiden ubak Roy Par Karaswai kila IT dekat dorkas Dr. Ampurin Lingdo Menteri Keterat Kokot Kakya ban penpaw karai ke balasiam kum ka union ha kejingalang ka berang sudap long ha kene kesni bat kila dawa bade ban kentiu no ikutulop jongki kat kum ka jinghe snam ha ka kam ka baki trei Ubak Roy Par uloong bagi nongalam jok union kelekran bad mission director lor kejingdan kam ban kentiu no ikut tulap jok nong trei ka 108 bad mission director ulapan por ban pendap ikene ka kam ho benai leber bad ban yo pediang no ikut tulap ka betamai na uyayong menta ka snam uloong babaro kibalation bentah kejingalang jok union kila ai kejing menjor na ka benta ban kentiu hnreo nak sispa ikut tulap jok nong trei bad ginong trei baro kibadan ha ka 108 kidan kumbalai spangut Nakaliang Dr. Ampurin Lingdo iloong baka sorkar kala menjur ban kentiu hnreo nak sispa akatulap ka beduna yagi nong trei ka 108 EMRI ka ban syangru kat kum gajing he snam ha gajing trei ka kam ilietu ru ba gajing khot ban tap tanda kam chometre kam ba bat kumta om shimlala ban IT ha ka no ka company ban peniat ya ka 108
You know, they met us a couple of weeks back, and in this meeting they had brought up to my attention a memorandum which highlighted some of the things that needed immediate redressal and correction. So the first thing that was done with the 108 workers is that they had a negotiation with the MP where they were able to talk about this increment that has not come their way because the NHM was not expected to carry on their engagements with these workers. Ideal situation, company should have been in position and they should have been able to have all of these terms and conditions laid out before them as indicated in their extensions of contracts. So they met with the MD, they're happy, we've agreed on certain terms that they have themselves brought before our purview. That is done. Unfortunately, the tender did not go well. We have still not been able to hand over these assets and the management of the 108 to a competent authority, which is in the form of a company. So we will be now taking this forward and ensuring that 108s have the assurance that their 6% increment, which is something that was actually due to them, gets operationalized immediately. That is going to be that has been one of the points. Second thing is, like I said the last time, other important agendas. One of them being rights of workers in the unorganized sector. How many holidays are they eligible? What are the terms and conditions of these holidays? So that again will have to be laid down as a temporary stopgap arrangement. So this is something which we do, and I'm happy that they're also satisfied. And I look forward that in the next 1 or 2 months there should be a fast tracking of this tender. We should be able to get through with it in the interest of workers who are sons and daughters of the state of Meghalaya.
In this last 2 days, we have a meeting with the MD, with the mission director. According to that meeting, at Additional Secretariat Mission Director Chambers Room 104, we have been negotiate and bring up to the agreement in between the mission director and the union representative to increase the salary of the employees. The mission director have been agreed to increase minimum 6% from the current salary based on seniority. That is 6% into current salary into seniority. The mission director also asking for a period of time to complete the work before the month of March. He asking time to complete this matter before March. Means from the 1st of April we should get a new salary. The union representatives said that they have to take this agreement to the general meeting. That's why we have a general meeting today, and the general meeting result today that all of the general members have agreed to this agreement with the MD. The union have been resolved and bring up to the conclusion that all have been agreed to increase the salary on a minimum 6% from the current salary based on seniority, and then we the union, we would very much appreciate it that the MD take initiative to solve the matter.
Ban penthi kena bagi kam ki jam kinya no sakhamat na kabanta bantai ya ka park ha golflings ha ka sihat majai jong katayo menteri kesoka jalla uba AL hek uba longru UMLA ka penthor umkra ulalom ya ka jialang bat ki officer katanat urban affairs rengkat bat kinoyalam shnong jong ka penthor umkra golflings na kabanta banyatai sani ya ka jing thmu bantai ya ka park ha golflings.
Hal kini kejingalang lawan ban mi kemat do director ketenat penroisor uba I Karamalki kinong ilam shnong ke pentor umkra golflings hapok kejingalam urang ba shnong uba Michael Heck bagani kejingalang hadian kejingatai sani kelasya mekarai ba andala depshna ya kapak kabaha shnong golflings on IT ha ka dorbar jong kashnong golflings bagan penyat bat mantap kamru di samla shnong Uba AL hek ulong ba kajing shnai kapak golflings kanwan ra ki kampen roy ban agaliang dorbar shnong ban mau ko mu MLA kathan yang scam ba kinu nu kam de ban pet ban penyat ka shnong bat wat ki kam ke balat ki de ban tap shwa lagi samla ka shnong Uba AL hek ulong ba ka shnong kam don de kanu kanu kajing persya ndai ka kwa bani trailang ba ka sarkar na kabenta ki kampen roy bali thu ru ba ha kajing alang ba kajing penyat ba kajing kemi ban pet ya kapak on le hi de ka dorbar shnong Ulong bagi sarkar kan penlut kumbakan reu keluar tengka ban shnai kapak hagaba andan ka cycling track balaparu igajing turwa ban shnai ka madan nil akai futsal bat ban boy ka farmers market Uretu ru bakandan gajing shimpisan ki patba ki balit kai ha ne kapak bat ikan igajing lom ya ka bairung on se penbet apdeng ka tenat penroisor bat ka dorbar shnong Urang ba shnong ka pentor umkra golflings uba Michael Heck ulong ba shnong kalong ka badan bok ban yo kapak Namar kisam la shnong kinyo kam yo jam badan shnaru ekamadan futsal bat ka shnong kamdan ni kanu kanu gajing persya managaliang menteri sarkar uba AL Heck rengkat bat director ketenat penroisor uba I Karamalki kila ai kajing kular ban IT sya ka shnong ban penyat ban kemi bat ban penbha ya kene kapak
Nukong du mtasinga kong sanne ngai ko bring you minister ba dang step mele posh po ji hi la phai we shiti nang yong ba ngi kwa hi ban pen pech wan kong ngai ko play chi minister ba ila kit khia mi IT minister ni ba hek mele bahek ila phone yang i kasnong yang ban man yikundu mata kesan beje menje penbej ini ke kam tapi songu ia milih jong i ba la kitya shai bla irap shai kasnong ba kasnong gede bodon bok e bayo itu ke children park ba jing yo kam yo jam i kena snong kena e bro te gede ga mur gede ga sngi ga bodon don bok e yo itu ka park merkawai ba nak diang jing Emily la don lang i director to urban affair ba Carmel ki tingi lai kan shai ba ka government kan pen kan ai kan pen tray ketika pak tu ba nak diang ke ba ka futsal ba nak diang ke sinong imdan kono objection ru kono ka ya di shkmat ba ni sotuna tang kawai ba ya ke maintenance ba ka management hi baro nak diang i minister i ba elhek ila de kular ba urban affair department director ila de kular yang ba in IT be shkashong ba ya management kin pe yemaki pi ke jumun toy kan bun ba play berthai mata ki kena samla bo shno jingi kila shu imbe haki drugs haki e bro at least kim yo ka kam ka jam ki babun hadu ki kam sweep ki ka kam cleaner ki kam sweeper everything ki kam guard kam e bro kim yo kam yo jam lo mar ko we ya ka shno ka nyara ba play yong bi ka maintenance ni pe ki shno ka mar kan doni ka financial ka jingi rap ya ka shno ro play ka shno ro ni berde ki financial body long ka ba spa dan at least in the yo kum kini ki kenja yu ni long ikiu syapang ke senong adu ki nong senong ber ki kena semar
ya pelong ini meeting nak banta ketika Shillong Golf Park kebangan pisna hang te hapo golfing ke jongi senong ke jongi tinggal ikut meeting lang kenang bagin yo ban slow tu nak banta ke roi ke par ke development ke rekam jong ka senong ke jongi jong ka cakap ke jongi ke bangin song ke sahabat kebangan niko ngaya ke temu nak kalian jong ada bar senong ban kalian ke jongang ke long back kinu ikam for the operation and maintenance bagi kamu gimana jangan tu kadi beli cuai segi kena sno kemudian kan kuno yang percaya sno sno ikwa punya trailang ni bagi sarkar dan benda garoi kapar kemudian yang percaya
okey teman paling bagan ni percaya ke bagi mod ban tai ha ka cakap
kabar nengkong kadi kapar nang tak don ka cycling track tinggi mentangi propose ke futsal ruang tu Tinggal dulu ki market juga kene ke farmers market. Tinggal farmers market mentangi propose berak no situ sedia juga community hall golfing. Tinggal tu bade hapo golfing ber situ sepo kene pitang nam ta park children park nam ta ki barok ki beri buan yakai. Sepo situ ga golfing.
Banyale ban penek pensa ya clarity tenrai hakasi balang jong katayo ke ilaka nong po leadership kalapan bana bakum bajule manlakasnem menta ka kentiru kan penlong biang ya kasat le nyam kabalatip kum kasat sajer haka ar paulai tarik ulber ar hajar ar posau ha ulum wirto right nong po Haribhoi district
ka ilaka nong po leadership lengbau ba pillar stones nong shai kum serdar Haga hinyo terik urampang arajar arpusau, kalapan menapat ba bagan sa penlong biang ya kejingli anyam kasyat sajer. Abaju penlong malang kesnam hak arpulai terik uleber arajar arpusau ha ulung berto. Ya kini kejing permena lapan menapat ba do ba pilas tuan siem nong syai usedar jong ke ilaka nong po sedarship hadin kejing yalang kebelalong haga ni kesengi hak senong paham siem. Haga balawan banedan bentalang kileng do bat kilong san mansan na ki hinru teligi rat ki bagantop ya karat nong karai rat nong po rat nong lengdo rat nong kra rat sokwai bat rat nong kerla habakran ni gelat patai kubor na kaliang serdar ule thu bagani ke jingle aniam syat sajer kare ke jingle aniam jong 4000 jong ke ilaka nong po serdarship ka baju penlong man la kesnam ban pa ne ka kerku kerdo na uble nong bu nong thau hadian bula the shibun ke jingkerku hagini ke snam ke belalit no ulo ongru bagani ke syat sajer kadai ka leniam le rukom kam tam ban penne kariti kedostor bat kalariti balabut nado ulang shwa manshwa bat umun barim shushu ulapan pauru bahak ni kesnam governmenta kila penbet bayakane ka leniam shat sajer ken penlong ha ka arpulai tarik ulber arajar arpusau ha ulung berto kajaka ka bahap apo uput usam jongkarat nongpo badakane ka leniam lasania aha ka sajer committee ban penbet penbiang yaki jingdon kambaro
ni nakaliang jongkela ka harangkat bakine kin rutli kirai nakarai nong karai nakarai nong lendo nakarai nong kra nakarai nong po nakarai nong sokwai ban nakarai nong kerla ngila ilum lang hakane kasi hakane kajaka nakamanta kawe kajingtmu kajungi kata kalong kebapne pensa yakane kariti kedustur hapo kane kelaka kabe kajungi te kumta hakane kasi ngila Shim ya kene karai na kamata man long ya kene kashat secer kejongi haka arpulai tarik ubnai match arhajar arpesau kabelong ha belum bertok hane harat nongpo kabelong kawai na kariti kedustur kejongi hapo kane kai laka beik kejongi kumta na kaliang jong ka ilaka harangkat bat kini kirai ngi khot ngi wer ya pi ki khun pi hajar ikun pi rayon na kamanta bapin ya snok tilang bapin ai tilang ti kamon
Kum shibenta banyale ban pensawa haka leng kijaka ban penlong ya ka monolith festival haka arpo lai bat arpo sau tarik urampang haka sing todin jong katayo ka Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council kala pelat ba ya ka theme song jong katay ka tamasa bat ya ka publicity campaign vehicle kaman let perta haka leng kishnong kitau.
Ya kini ke team song bat kakali ke belit pertah hagi Shnong Chapang ke Monolith Festival. Laplat bat ba do Deputy Chief Executive Member ke KHADC ubak pencengan NCM. Haka balai dan lang ke Executive Member ke KHADC ke Bekentup ya ubak Jigur Merthong, ba Victor Rani, ba Taibor Patau, Kongres Mary Karpuri, Kong Magdalene Saukume Maulong, ba Rangkensai Karbuki, ba Fantin Lakadong, bat kihe officer jangka council. Habakran na kajingalang uba pencengan NCM uloong baka Monolith Festival ke Banlong, haka Khasi Heritage Village. Kadai kajingat trailang hapadang ka KHADC, bat katanat jengok kai pertai jong ke sorkar jela. Haka baan penina me kajinglong tenrai ukhasi, haka ruai kasiau ketem kaput, kabam bat karyam tenrai, bat kiwe-kiwe. Bat kani kadikasian ke balai ban penlong ya kani katamasa, bat kan omdon ke jingshim ya kabairung na kipat ba kibawan sya kani katamasa. Uloong baka council kan sasyong perkhat ban penlong man la kapor ya ka Monolith Festival haka Khasi Heritage Village Mauplang. Badan penkreru ya ka bil ka mande ka kamram ya ka executive committee jong ka council bakin penlong bet ya ka festival man la kasnam.
Bang apply ya ka media campaign vehicles na ka benta ka Monolith Festival niyo ban rung man lagi khapsor hagi wigi jaka ban perta sikipai ba nong sosong baro baga Monolith Festival jungi kan sedang haka aku atrik jong liu benai bagan betkut haka benai haka liuju benai haka absoltrik buat bagi snong it sibentalang baro nanti haka jadi bekaneka Monolith Festival ke bangsa sedang syen.
Ka Khasi Students Union Jayau Circle haka sing satjan jong katayo baladem kala penlong yak Excellence Award for Meritorious Students hadinam hall Jayau haka ba kala pen kuburom ki prap hongut ki kena bat ki samla pule ki balawan chakhamat haka jing pule jongki.
Kajing temu jong ka Khasi Students Union Jayau Circle ban penlong ya kene kajing ai kusnam hi kena skol ba examla pule ki ba pule ha ki kerdan ba pher kalong gum kajing ai ya kajing itho ya kajing trechtom jongki bat banang ai mensi meki bakin beteng ban minot chushu u chairman ka North East Students Organization NESO uba Samuel Jerwa kum kongsan bat u assistant education secretary ka KSU u Shelkit Bok Karbani kila penkuk buram kini kena pulih ha kabaledan lang kinong kit kam kajayau circle jong ke KSU kinong kit kam shnong ka than jayau bat kibai uba Samuel Jerwa ulai ku blai kini kena bagi samla pulih ki bala pas ba ki examen boper bat ula kentu yaki bigide banyai beteng ban minot bat ban treshitom ban penurlong ya kajing angnot ka bagidan ha kajing im.
And their attitude towards childcare,
ka seng na tu import menjua imla ana yo bo ni ai kata ka ai ko de andre ka wa khong sam ni kata ka lo wa ka jing ai ka ni Islam ka lo ka jing thu ya kata ka jing Krish tong jong bi ka jing penslo ya kata ka jing Krish tong bi ka jing ni jong bi na ko wi ko ko pa ma jubran bi por bagi samla ki heb bre ki ba lemha hagidun hikam kitre lagalong kajing buli lagalong kajing lekai lagalong kaput kadam neka drodor dan hagidun kasak kita abagi lemha kilong tik kum tu sultir ho snam ho ye ho pensing kajing sing wi na ko por so ba kadai pak ini tum gibreu banyara untuk sultir ban icebox ban aikum ban sumar kenapa untuk seperti menumbiamno rin nangai ko na ko esna sa ko pa
Banyale ban wanra ya kejing kela ban pen ki imbiang ya kawa umkra hakasi balang jong katayo menteri rangba kejala ukonrat ke sangma ulabu ya umaunong rim ban pentre ya kawa umkra Riverfront Development Project hakejing halang kebelalong hapolo bat ula pleru ya ka Prime Megapreneur Expo.
Menteri Rangba Kejala Meghalaya Konrad Kongkal Sangma hakahnyo tarik rempang arajar arpusau. Ulabu mau nongrem na kebenta ban pentre ya kawa amkra Riverfront Development Project hakajingalang kebelalong hapolo. Kawa amkra Riverfront Development Project kadek project ban penbahai ke saudong saukun jaka wa amkra hakajingmang pisa kabalai pukendai keluar tengka. Bat kene ke project kan long ban snai ke jaka ban penitenat ya kene ke rutwa. Habakran kene ke sengiu Menteri Rangba Kejala uloong bagajing sna penitenat ke saudong saukun ke wa amkra kan don arbenta. Kata kelong ban trailang bat ketenat jal syakti ke Sarkar Pedang naga benta ban penkuat ke wa amkra bat kawa Sherpi. Habapa ni kejeng kerjaan ni beliau badan bentalang. Menteri Rangba ula kentu ya kinong alam snong ban snok tilang ban penurlong ya ke project. Naga bayale ban dai kini wa hakanong ba shelong. Hagini kejingalang nak liang Menteri Rangba ula ai tiru ya ki cek ki belong nyopsan hajar tengka bat silak san hajar tengka syekidor barsnong hag sor shelong naka My City campaign. Hagini kesini le don lang ru sembut Menteri Rangba Kejala ubelong ru Menteri Ketenat Penroi Saru uba senyaw balang dahar Menteri Ketenat Animal Husbandry and Veterinary uba AL Hag ka Deputy Commissioner ke District East Khasi Hills ikong RM Korba ki Officer Ketenat Shillong Municipal Board ki Rangba Shnong bat kiwei-kiwei.
That we need to start somewhere. If we keep looking at the challenges, if we keep looking at the difficulties and we say, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. So, the positive side is, we have decided that we're going to start doing something about it. And for that, we need your support and your cooperation. And as mentioned by both our leaders who spoke before me, that this is only possible if all of us work together, cooperate with each other. Yes, there will be challenges and you will always find many things to say about, oh, why this and why not this. But the point is, we have to start somewhere. And as I said, you can be working with us as a team to support and make sure that we work with the target of actually achieving the different goals that we have, so that we are able to make Shillong great in terms of its overall beauty and also in terms of the overall infrastructure and the facilities that are there.
Hadin gini kejingalang nagaliang Menteri Rangba ula plepat baru ya ke Prime Megapreneur Expo ha polo ha kaba kelas sedang naduk nyau tarik batkan kod ha kendai tarik urempang arajar arpusau. Ya kane ke promotion and incubation of market driven enterprises ne ke Prime Megapreneur Expo arajar arpusau. Lapledu Menteri Rangba Kejala Konrad Kongkal Sangma kum kongsan ha kebeledon lang usembut Menteri Rangba Kejala uba senyaw balang dahar Menteri Ketenat Animal Husbandry and Veterinary uba AL Hag bat kiwe-kiwe. Habakaran na kejingalang Konrad Kongkal Sangma uloong bagi di ginong seng kam lajong kibala banyalam nakmat hagaban kentiyo ke yok kokot jong Kejala. Bat ke Prime Megapreneur Expo kedai kejing rakyat na kebenta kinong seng kam lajong ha Kejala. Menteri Rangba bat ke Menteri Sarkar ke lalit jengo iki basa ke belabu de ginong seng kam lajong bat kle keren ru bat kini ginong seng kam. Hagani ke expo lap inam gitiar kitar kimar kimata kijan kinap kimarba mardi bat kiwe belapen mi de kipat nong shong ke jela bat kum jo ki bagi nong sengkam na ke jela kle trailang bat kiwe pat ki kenhuan ki bana bar ke jela. Habai keren bagi katokane ke lepen pau ke jing sngotenat bagi layo ekalat ban inam ya ke ke bagi penmi ya ki karkhana jongki bat ke jingla jongki ban yang halaki jongki kejat bat ban ai kam lang ru iki pat. Kini ginong sengkam la jong kele thu baki lala ban penya yo bhai kimar ki jongki om tang hapok ke jela ndrai de ke betrelang bar ki company ki benabar ki belala ban penya yo shabar ka riru bar kani kele rap shibun yaki
dening kong ngi sedang tanya usalia den dala de usalia deni sedang persiang tan ginya kisyang persiang tan kisyang te indah hadin lawan ki sorkar ki yo iba ngi don kasap ki wan ai ki training isnong indah lawan ai ki training dengi poi syarane bangin poi kan ne ngi kendu bat kadak tikraf kalawan ai ki design kalawan ai ki bun jeki jing pendankan dengi la syo ken ke order nang kan dengi ni shutan bet ni shuan shin bet simbe ini ketir nim sim sistem sur mentaban wat ya kayu namar kila sim oda ada tadi dak dikra
tolong ka jusuk nan yang ni ba ni layo wan banya sim mentala kan ka official ni po pulo jangka prime ni wan kapina kalian sotrun ni sotrun hoy mensua apa kayu ka hat saknyat ha mar ba nim yo kador ka tangkawe kador mentapat kilabu na company ning dadi ko nyur kaju kador ko tlang kaju kador minta mengi habo kasnong kathau nya ayo la kilok ni kisenang ayo kam jam ba ni ayo kan penik sabar ko ka company ko Bangalore pa supply pa ko ari Europe ni ko kasnong kathau ni suat ya ko isa ni suat isu bu freezer packing apa itu Australia dengan kamu isu
ya kini ki jan ting isos ben na po na bhai ya kini ki jan man su ya kini ki Jerusalem isos na bhai ki sai pa na showay te ngit saya tray lang ka group ka team bangidana tingi design and then saya penmi lang pada untuk ya kini ka collection te even ya kini ru kalau muntahi na ki waste fabric waste material kan itu bisa design kata kerupam ban ya hab ban shifte kuma haka dia kene ke fabric bagani ke pen ini combine pat kata kerupam ba kan ya blend haka design kum to ini kita besma ni bare kini kijana di combine untuk ban pen one ya kowe ka garments kan instead bangin subrat ya kita kijana kum to pen yat kam gitu kan hadu mentate nama bangidang susdang kini ki upcycle production ti kadang subyang hingam perlar benong ba kala jad ha nama bangidang susdang ti kadang byang
berborok ni na jengi am kibet hadu kini ki tiar ki wara be tiar riwet ni thiet pai ni thiet kinar na ini baru ki kam jam kalau ke small industry ki bagi kumbiang tum lagi installation ni lihat gini solar plant solar start baru gitu nak kasih jengi baru ke trailang dan ini kata ni kai ru ki ban nang kabut kuno baterai kan teknologi ban himmat bukan za fitrai fi abut nai ini employ ki and since everything is nabi chini apart from batteries and panels kan berka structure ini nabi baru chini di baru ke experience ni ada bun ban baru ki kena snong baru ke snong kena sini ki install almost 40-50% na install whole Meghalaya every snong nila itu na the day and every snong nila sab still have a good event
Hashwa bangin yakmi ikikubo badang sa inya phashwa shipor sakini ki jingpan bana
Since the detection of the first case of HIV in India back in 1986, almost 37 years now, we are still not free from the virus.
Let us all unite and reunite and learn the basics of HIV, and we can't keep our eyes and ears closed for long, because if it's happening in the society, it can happen and we remain ignorant, then one day it can happen to us also.
Come, join hands, talk AIDS for no AIDS. Come be a part of the Northeast Multimedia Campaign on HIV/AIDS on the 28th of February 2024 at Lariti Performing Centre, Mau Kasiang from 11 a.m. onwards.
Is a next step to the Prime program that we had started 5 years back. And the CM Elevate program targets 20,000 entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. We want to push and we want to support 20,000 entrepreneurs.
Comfort here. So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. Storm keeps on twisting, you keep on building lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. In the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here.
Habang inya beteng biang ya ke kubor, inya penken mau biang ya kimat bakongsan jong ke kubor mentah katayo. Menjur ke sorkar ya ke Shillong Urban Mobility Policy arajar arpusau banweng ya ke jengkapnya hakanong ba bat ploy ke sorkar jela banyak keranya sub bat ke HMRC. Yo pedang katenat social welfare hindu peliki keteng nak bentah ke kam chairperson HMSCW. Sam Chiti Tungkam umiturang ba sekilas pak sapon reungut ginong hikai lower primary. Kapnya ke sekretariat badap daki kalijan adin laisi layok say ya kemed urang ba basyatap ha unyut ha Martin. Bat tut kipat ba ban let kiu ngiu haulum sapet beneng. Katanat Sports and Youth Affairs Kejala hakala asing ublay jong katayo kalapan kup buram yakinong ilak kai Kejala kibrayo kur yakitakma haka Meghalaya Games arajar arposau bat ka Khelo India Youth Games arajar arposau haka jehalang kebelalong ha usosotham auditorium.
Ya kini kena ilakai kebelai okur kita kemal lapan kuk buram do menteri rang ba Kejala ukon rat kongkal sangma hak balai dan lang menteri ketenat ilakai uba Shaklia Romarjri ke menteri ketenat kekot kakia i Dr. Ampurin Lingdo ke director ketenat Sports and Youth Affairs Kejala ikong Isau Wanda lalu bat kiwe-kiwe. Kena ilakai kebelai syapan kuk buram keleyok diang da kasong pisah. Ukon rat kongkal sangma haba ai jingkran ula ai kublai kinong ilakai halor kejing job jongki bat kejing wan rana bat buram e Kejala bat ulong ba kejing temu ban penkuk buram bat ban itu e kejing job kisamla kalong kejing ai men siam kinong ilakai bakin kelalong kita kisamla ki ban ai men siam ya ki waipat ulong ba kini kisamla ki dan kebenta ke bakrau nomor kamdai e atang bagi job ila dia shimet nrekin long ru kita ki baki waipat ken pai kemat syaki bat ken long kinong ai men siam ki wai Ukon rat kongkal sangma ulai kublai yang Meghalaya State Olympic Association, bat igi Sports Association jong Kejala, bat ketenat Sports bat Youth Affairs halor kejing nok senyang jongki ban penlong ya ke Meghalaya Games ke bajob. Bat watla kila don katokan ni kejing andrai on penti kena bakan ni kejing kop kan long ke babha. Bat ke bahe bat ban weng ru ikini kejing tenjo ki baki kendo. Menteri rang ba ulai kublai ru ke kenhuan ilakai football ke belajob ke Khelo India Youth Games bat ulong Bakani ke kenhuan kala penuan ra ya kejing song sarong ya Kejala bat kejing job joki ke penisai kedar ya ke sap ke baki kidon.
That we would like to make you as icons and as motivation for other youth to be able to look at you and say that, well, I would like to be like them. And I would like to also be one of those people who are able to achieve. And hence, I would like to tell the youth who are here today that you have a very important and responsible role to play. Today you might think that you just won a medal, but it's not about just the medal or the award that you will get. It is about the recognition that you're getting today in the state. It's about how your colleagues, your friends, other youth of the state today are looking up to you. Hence, I would request all of you that be that responsible person. Guide other youths. Tell them your story of how you have done and achieved what you have achieved. That you will face challenges in life. But it is how you face them and how you improve and how you overcome them. That is really what matters. You will see that it is not just our speeches or the kind of words that we give, but in action, we have been able to invest in our youth. If you minus the infrastructures, which will be more than 700-800 crores today in different infrastructures for the sport within this last 5 years, in the different programs, as I said, for grassroots music program, Yes Meghalaya program, Prime Entrepreneurship program, Northeast Olympics, different Meghalaya games, different association games. The government of Meghalaya has spent more than 125 crores in different programs to organize and to mobilize the youth. And let me assure you that we will continue to do that and we will be investing in the youth because, as mentioned by our Honorable Sports Minister, you are the future of our state and we want to give the best opportunity to you to be able to shine in whatever area that you have passion in and that you want to move forward in.
Kakeo penir ngiu ko ba arposan snem jong kalum sopet beneng komiti seng khasi kimi sakliar ulum kentang usopet beneng kabla long hakas ngiu blay jong katayo beladam kala long ko ba syongkun jaka jingwan simbenta upat kabri uhinyo trap.
Ka seng khasi seng kimi kala penlong ya kani ke jinglet kiu penir ngiu manlaga snem. Bat kani kalayat mentala arposan snem hakaba kibadang bat ikan yam tenrai shisnem. Dan kam ban la ka jong karniu ka bok nu sipru bakan long kat kum ka benta bat ku hukum blai haswa ban sedang ban kiu pat ba uriu temen riusan jong ka seng khasi seng kemie kida penlong ya ka ngu ka dem bat ka duai ka pirat ka kerdop kabadan hajan kapung Yam. Bad hadian kani keselit kieu pat ba bat kieu rngeu caulom sapet beneng. Ubadan ka kana jong ke jingnya dai hapdeng ukun benriau bat utrai kenrat lengba ke jingkieng kesiar. Habalapoi pat hakliar undom bat halor kaduan kedupat. Uriu temen reusan ulah pendap ika nguk kadam lengba ukhau bat koom ban sut ban syur ban pensum pensle kaduan kedupat kadak ban pen kentang pat yaka. Dagi kentian pun lenti sya ublei nong bu nong thau. Ban kiau ke jingkieng kesiar kalong menta de kemensiam khot nala kemensiam kesiar kaban sapela di upat ba belian ban yo alem manyo kejat halor jongka. Bat cipor bandam ple jengmut ila dia ban duai bat bania saj ya thau bat ublei trai kenrat un ri un kudup un sumar sukher un the sei ka kerku ban aslendat wa kun ben riu un yai beteng ban nang roi parum pare hakan kesela perthai.
Kubar ko ngilak kiu ko kenrat ka phalor Rang ka ngot kesliang ke jeng kenrat her kalapoy. Hai bat pidon nang no bat pisong ko berat. To apat to wano. On deng ilak kiu hakaduan ke depan. Sadon dekat mak. Ringkau ko basa ko banyi. Ngingo ngidem kenrat.
Nama Tuhan lagi, kami Tuhan di baru, bagi kita news terus berdei. Kalau dalam naduk por berim, long semua keman semua, hak por, kisim kahima mau, pada kumta terter, hadu kahima mau, kalau no orang mau, baru sim, tanggung usim raj kahima silong, pada dia mat, ulah ham usim raj kemau. Apa Imam Lim?
Te paralog da kita ke kubor ngila poi sika bakut jang ketup kubor jongi ngin pin kut no ekaman ta katayo ngin se syam yang bat ki la syam tayo. Ku play ship.